Behind me is the largest museum on the planet. It took 20 years to build. This thing cost over $1 billion. After years of hearing about it and watching it being built, I'm finally here. This is the day we are at the Grand Egyptian Museum. Honestly, even from the car, the sheer scale of this building is hard to comprehend. It is massive, modern monument that just stretches across the horizon. It's incredible. You feel the weight of history before you even step inside. My first experience was actually the parking. We decided to drive, and I was preparing for a bit of chaos because it's Egypt. But the garage was pleasant, and it was only 50 pounds. I thought it was going to be more, honestly, but it was incredibly organized and clean. It was a huge space, and everything was clearly marked. It just made the start of the day feel so smooth and stress-free, which is exactly what you need. Here's the best thing advice I can give you: book your tickets online. Once we walk in, we saw a lot of people waiting in lines just to buy tickets. I just turned and thank God we had just booked in hours in advance. I just scanned my phone and just passed everyone. That moment of relief was worth it, to be honest. And then you step into the main atrium. Wow, Grand doesn't even begin to cover it. The space is monumental. The entire project has been for decades in the making, and you can see that in the amount of details you see everywhere. We look at these massive columns, and they are covered in many names of Egypt in every language on the planet. It's like the building itself is welcoming and telling the nation's story. You are immediately drawn to the star of the show in this hall, the colossal statue of King Ramses II, standing 3,200 years old, welcoming you into his domain. The sheer size of it's humbling. It's been moved here to be the first and last thing you see, the grand host of this incredible museum. You just have to stop and stare for a few minutes. So here we are. This is the entrance. This is Ramses II. I think this guy loves crowds. I remember when he was in the Ramses Square, everything was crowded and there was a lot of people up there. I think it still loves this thing. Like, he loved to be in the crowd areas. It's interesting that this thing took 20 years to build. 20 years. I remember when I was a kid, this place was like, they were talking about they are going to finish it. And it's good that I'm here. And there's like all these crowds over there. I think that the museum itself is divided to 3 floors. Every floor is like describes a period of Egypt, and it's pretty good. Honestly, the place is massive, and it made me think. I remember this exact statue when it stood in the middle of Ramses Square in Cairo. It was pure noisy and chaos. It was surrounded by cars, buses, and it was just constant swirl of the city life. People were writing on it. You had see vendors at space. People are paying next to it. It's just constantly engulfed in this intense modern sea of people. Now seeing it here, still surrounded by the crowds, but this time crowds from all over the world who have just to admire him. It just made me laugh. This guy loves crowds, even in the afterlife. It really makes you think. Your importance is truly defined by the place you are in. From chaotic, polluted traffic to the grand hall of the world's greatest museum. What a journey for him, to be honest. From the main hall, we headed for the grand staircase. And let me tell you, this isn't just the way to the next floor. This is an exhibit in itself. It is massive, wide, and ancient. A journey upwards through history. It's lined with 87 statues of pharaohs, kings, and gods, each one watching over you as you climb. It's designed to feel like you are ascending to the heavens, or at least to the main galleries. You climb and passing millennia of history, and then you finally reach the top. You are rewarded with a perfect floor-to-ceiling panoramic view of the Giza pyramids. It is just breathtaking, perfectly framed shot that just stops you in your tracks. It is genius design, directly connecting the new home of Egypt's history, the ancient wonders of the world themselves. But the museum isn't just about the pharaohs. We may spend some time in the Greek-Roman galleries. It is so fascinating to see that later layer of Egypt history. You can see how different culture of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman blend together. The art, the statues, and the beliefs. It is just a unique fusion that happened right here in this land. It is an essential part of Egypt history. We are here at the Roman area. This is the place where the Roman artifacts is here. When Egypt used to be Roman. Yeah, everyone came here and did what you want. There is no way I could come here and not see this. The 4,600-year-old solar boat of King Khufu. This is the original and massive wooden ship that was buried in a pit at the foot of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It was just built to carry the pharaoh on his final journey in the afterlife. To stand next to something this huge, this ancient, and this perfectly preserved, it's just mind-blowing. It smells like history. After all that walking, and believe me, it's a lot of walking, a break was desperately needed. My sister and I stopped at one of the cafes at the food court, and I have to be honest, it's a bit expensive, but for a chance to sit down and rest our feet and just to try to process everything we had already seen, it was necessary. We were here for a few hours and I still feel like we only scratched the surface. You could spend the whole day on just one gallery. The Grand Egyptian Museum isn't just a building, it's not the collection of the artifacts, it is a new home for our history, our heritage, all brought together with such respect. It's finally open to the world, and what an incredible, overwhelmingly and unforgettable day. So this is the second floor, this is the main area where they held most of the artifacts and everything. I'm just impressed with all of these things. This is my grandpa. As you probably can see here, the place is so large. This is, I don't know who is this guy. This is Ramses II. Hello, Grandpa. Hello. Then we made it to the absolute highlight, the King Tutankhamun gallery. Walking in, the lights goes down and you're surrounded by over 5,000 treasures. It's wild to think that Tut was only 9 years old when he took the throne, and he died when he was just 19. Historically, he wasn't actually one of the great powerful pharaohs, but he became the most famous simply because his tomb was the only one found completely untouched in 1922, while the other tombs were looted. His story survived for 3,000 years. Seeing his personal items, his sandals, his chariots, his games really reminds you he was just a young man living a life of insane luxury. And finally, the golden mask. It is the true icon of Egypt, standing inches away from it, but good luck to touch it because it's really crowded there.